Hello students, today we are going to learn the transportation model. Now this transportation model is used to minimize the transportation cost for going from one origin to various destinations. Now the books which are used for this particular topic are given in the slide. Students are requested to go through these reference books and solve as many problems as possible. Now this transportation model is also called as a distribution model because it distributes the material or the raw material or maybe the finished products from one source to the destinations. As you can see in this particular figure, there you can see a number of sources are there and there are number of destinations, and also there are various routes through which the material is being transported. The routes can be named as 111, 112 or whatever you like. There are various modes of conveyance which will be also used, like for example the road, railway, ships or maybe the aeroplanes. So this particular model, it deals with the transportation of product available at several sources to different destinations. Though the name is called as a transportation model, but apart from the transportation problems, it can be used for scheduling, production, investment, plant location, inventory control, and product mix problems. The objectives of this transportation model is to minimize the total transportation cost and to optimize the distribution of available resources. Now, as we can see here in this figure, there are various origins. These are called the O1, O2, OM. So it can be the factories. The destinations are D1, D2 and so on up to Dn. So these destinations can be the construction plants, the construction various sites, as it is applied for the civil engineering. So there is availability of the resources and the requirement of the materials. So there is always then the origins and the destinations. So the capacity of each plant are being given as A1, A2, etc. up to AM, and the destinations are given as B1, B2, etc. up to Bn. So we have got certain origins which may represent factories where we produce items and supply a required quantity of the products to a certain number of destinations. So our objective is to minimize the transportation cost to maximize the profit. Sometimes the origins and destinations are also termed as the sources and sinks. So the data which we require, as we have seen, it is the availability of the materials A1, A2, AM. This is called as the supply, and up to the destination there will be the requirement, so it is the demand. And also we will require the cost of transportation from each supply or each origin to the destinations. Now this cost of transportation, it is also given as in terms of rupees per unit material. Now it may be varying from the origin to destination depending upon many reasons. So the transportation cost, it will be calculated between the origins and the destinations. So now the same problem, it can be represented as in the form of a matrix. Now all the origins are given as O1, O2, etc. up to OM. And also the supply, which is from O1, it is given as A1, from O2 it is A2, and OM it is AM. So the total quantity which can be supplied from the origins are given as A1, A2, AM, and sum will be represented over here. Similarly, there are destinations D1, D2, Dn, and the requirements are given as B1, B2, etc. up to Bn. So even you can find out the total demand. So here the total demand and there is total supply. When these are equal, these are called as a balanced transportation problem. When these are not equal, it is called as a unbalanced transportation problem. So when it is a balanced transportation problem, you can start directly with the solution of the problem. But when it is unbalanced transportation problem, then either you have to add a dummy row or the column, which we are going to see in the next videos. Now, to solve the transportation problems, there are various methods which are given by many researchers. Commonly used are northwest corner method, least cost method, row minima method, column minima method, and Vogel's approximation method. Over and above all these transportation methods of transportation problems, there are many researchers who have presented different types of solutions, but we are concentrating only on these five. And how to solve these problems, how to minimize the transportation cost, it will be given in the subsequent videos.